Alright, as you can see, I'm cold. I'm all rugged up. We're going to attempt to get to as close as possible to that A plus rating, that ever elusive rating that we've been chasing for a long time. Haven't been doing enough dailies to kind of make it happen. We've seen that in the leaderboard, the Genesis is dominating, so we're going to jump in that. Haven't got a livery or anything for it, but still, we're going to do this first race from the back, and then we will work towards getting our qualifying times to start that little bit closer up to the top, to help us get the DR and stuff. I do quite like starting from the back, but as you guys would know, that it's not necessarily the best idea if you're trying to raise your DR, get your rankings right up, etc. It's probably best to sit here and do a qualifier for a while. You just have to bear with me for a sec while I get my shoes off and get ready. Quite literally just got home from taking the kids to school and going to utilise the quiet time I have without the little ones causing distractions. Okay. Alright, let's get some practice in. We won't complete a lap. Not sure the best shift points or that in the car. We'll figure that out as we go along for the next couple of hours today. I do also have to do some practice for tonight's Motor Motion TCR event, but I can wait till later. Hey Ozzy, how you going, mate? How are you today? I was cheering you on Sunday in race 2 in the chat for the Supercars series. You looked like you had the potential to get a podium there, but unfortunately it wasn't it. So yeah, you're good, cool. Yeah, we're just going to attempt to raise our DR a bit today. Normally try and race daily C, but it's not in a group 3 or group 4 car, so I'm not really too keen on it. We're going to do this first race from the back, and then we'll start setting some qualifying times and improving, trying to get ourselves close to the front. I need to set up an alt account so I can do more of these races from the back. Not good enough for you? I like Laguna here. I like this track. I prefer if it was a Group 3 car. But it actually doesn't feel too bad around here in the G70. Just gotta learn to drive this car. As you can see on the kilometres, I've only put about 50 k's on it. I really enjoyed the Daily C. What was it, last week? Week? I think it was the week before. The one where we had the race. It was like the 50-minute race. I think it was Fuji, around Fuji, and it had the random weather. That was a good run. I should have done a lot more of that. I really enjoyed it. Le Mans last week. Yeah, it was the Fuji one I liked. I'm not a big fan of Le Mans. I mean, I can drive it, but yeah. All right, let's see how we go. We should be starting from somewhere close to the back. Yeah, there we go. Don't really have anyone we notice in there. It seems like, yeah, most people are doing what the leaderboard says and going with the G70 this week. Greens 232, who's that? Apparently they know me, they've seen me before. Not sure. Don't know off the top of my head. Apparently he's seen me before. He's said hello to me, so that's nice of him. Alright. One thing I do need to sort out is... Oh, CP Greenie, hey, is this a alternate account or something? I don't, yeah, I just have people's PSNs up. I don't have their nicknames, so I'm a bit... How you going? Yeah, how nice. How are we, mate? Good luck. Thanks, Aussie. I do need to figure out how to... I think I need to recess some holes into my big MDF piece that I've got my chair and my pedals bolted into and my chair sitting on top of, because I just slide around. Man flu. Yeah, no man flu for me. This is my days at the moment, not working. Partner's arthritis is getting really bad, so I've had to take a step back from work and start doing more of the stuff with the kids and the family responsibilities, which does give me some time to do this stuff through the day. Oh, Saw Parts just sent Benjamin. I know that was a bit aggressive, but we don't want him to send us when we try and get next to him, so the quicker we get past that guy, the better. Bit of a battle going up into the corkscrew here. And someone's already ghosting. See, Saw Parts just sent that last guy behind us too. Just going to do what we can to get away. Yeah, it's a bit of a mix. I think the guy who had the fastest time was an AA driver. We're an AS. We just got our SSR back after quite a while of being BSR due to one of the dailies. I think it was a couple of months ago now. Sitting behind leading mast here. We're going to go for another move similar to the one before. Ooh, bit of a nudge from behind. Yeah. Yeah, it was CP Greenie. That's right. So he was AA, and then there was... I noticed there were a few Bs in there. Still trying to figure this car out. We're up to 10th now, so it's a 5-lap race. I think once we get about 3 of these races under our belt, we'll figure this car out a lot more. Figure out our lines and stuff that we need to use with it. We are on the hard tyres for this race, that's a bit different. Guy named Suzuki Swift 7209 and he's driving a Suzuki Swift. Alright, up to 8th place, so it's about halfway through the pack now. We are about 10.5 seconds behind the leader. We've been held up a little bit. No chance that we're going to win it anyway. It's only a 5-lap dash. But if we can kind of get up to that 6th spot, I'd be very happy with that to start off with. Have I raced in S1 before? Like Sector 1? Yes, I'm a regular in Sector 1. I've been there for, I did all of last season there, and I did about half a season the season before. What happened was, if that's Sector 1, what happened with Sector 1 is, one of our old friends from PLE, Smitty, he used to race at Sector 1, and then he had that big health scare. He ended up having a heart attack, unfortunately. He's all good now, but he hasn't returned back to sim racing yet. He started doing Sector 1 and then asked us to fill his seat for the team he raced for. We were happy to help him out, considering he was... oh shit. He was happy to jump into GT Champions with me and help represent PLE all that time ago. So we jumped in to help him out. They're driving for Red Mist Racing. So I think we came 3rd in the team standings for the last season just gone. Couple of podiums. Ooh. Looks like just over a lap to go. We've managed to jump up into 5th spot. Still 11.5 seconds behind the leader at the moment, which is Greeny. He's led it at the moment from start to finish. This Genesis is actually alright to drive. Just wondering, going to sign up for the BMW M3 series. Yeah, so the way it works with Sector 1 is they give preference to existing drivers first. They've got 4 divisions. They give preference to existing drivers first, and then they will work on adding new members to it. I know there's a few people dropping out because the M3 series, 2 reasons. One, they're either moving on elsewhere, moving up a division, or they're moving on to other leagues or series. Or, I know a lot of us have been thrown a curveball by this, but the M3 series is actually full tuning. So quite a few people are a bit upset that it's full tuning. It does mean that teams have to spend time tuning out the understeer from that car and coming up with something that's also going to be pretty easy on your tyre wear. We're right on the back of 4th here. I'll send it last corner if we're close enough. 4th has the inside for this last corner. See if we can crisscross them. Oh, just. Just look at that, up to 4th. Nice. Yeah. So that wasn't quite last where we started. I think we were maybe 12th or 13th, 14th. I'm not sure. We were down the back, no quality time, and we finished just shy of 12 seconds off the pace of Greenie. But yeah, we've managed to come home 4th. So I was not expecting a DR raise from this race, but it looks like that might happen. That G70 is alright. Alright, up 10 spots. So yeah, from 14th to 4th, we'll more than happily take that. Nino, how you going, mate? Welcome in. How are we? Yep, so we got a DR raise by the looks of it, which is good. We weren't expecting that from the first race, but now we can actually go and do some qualifying times and maybe get mid-pack a bit and learn this Genesis a bit more. I'm going alright, man. How are you? How are you, Nino? But yeah, Aussie Pride, it's not bad, Sector 1. As long as you're not a team owner and involved in all that kind of politics stuff. If you're just a driver that rocks up and races, it's actually pretty good. I do suggest getting involved because even if you don't get drafted into the 4 divisions that they do have a community series every Thursday night. The car tends to change a bit, I think. Last season it was all different road cars. The season before that it was the Genesis GR3. But I do recommend jumping over to Sector 1 because myself personally, I've been thriving lately on racing with this mob, racing with that mob, doing dailies, etc., instead of sticking with the one group. I've changed my driving style a little bit over the years. When we first started out at PLE, I think I was very cautious driver. And since going and doing GT Champions, Sector 1, Motor Motion, I think I did a couple of races at Wheel to Wheel Racing. I've learnt to get my elbows out a little bit within reason. I've become a bit more aggressive as a driver. But in saying that, I expect other people to race just like me. So, but yeah, as I was saying, if you get involved in Sector 1 and get into those Thursday community series races, especially if you don't get assigned a division, if you get into those Thursday races, team owners watch that, and then when other people have to drop out or miss races mid-season, etc., then that's when you start getting call-ups if they're watching you in that. And they're not necessarily looking for the people who win, they're looking for people that are respectful on track, that can look after their tyres, drive to their numbers, etc. That's how you got your start with CP. Yeah, I got into Red Mist Racing there, but that was only because Smitty, S-Smith mate, whatever you know him as, asked me to fill in for him. And I've enjoyed the racing. I'm Division 2 there. I've enjoyed the racing. I haven't been as competitive lately because I've been hampered by wheel and pedal issues, but the last round especially, now that I've got an upgraded wheel, we ended up coming second, so that was pretty good. Alright, 28.8. Not community races, doing some racing. Yeah. So not only that, Nino, where are you from? Are you from Australia? Are you from Australia, New Zealand, that kind of area? Because if you are, there's a couple of other leagues and groups I can swing you to. America, USA. Oh, okay. Yep, that's all right. There's one actually. I can swing you in their direction. They're more. It's called GT Champions. I don't know if you've heard it or not. You can check them out on YouTube to see their races and what they do. They're more of an endurance racing group, but they do a thing. It works out to be Sunday mornings for us Aussies, but it's Saturday night your time. I think 7 p.m. ET, it's at Eastern Time. GT Champions. It's a great place to get involved. I've enjoyed it. One good thing about that group is it trains you to look after your tyres and look after your fuel. The way that their World Cup series works is that you get a 2-hour race. It used to be an hour and a half. They changed it to 2 hours. And the middle 20 minutes of that 2 hours is the only time you can pit to take fuel and tyres. You have to use a medium and a soft tyre. You can only use one set of each. You can only take your fuel in that period as well. You can pit any time to fix your damage. But for tyres and fuel, it's strictly in that 20 minutes, and it teaches you to not drive at 100% all the time, to start driving at 95%, making sure you're hitting all your marks. It actually helps you get quicker and look after your tyre wear and learn about your fuel wear, etc. They're happy to take on anyone. They generally do series that range from about 45 entries to about 70 entries. So there's always space for people. If you give me a moment before I start this next race, I will throw their Discord link in my chat. You can jump over there, have a look. They do races in the middle of the week as well. But because of the way that works out for us Aussies, it's not really viable for myself to race through the week with them. But yeah, I'll throw up their Discord link. They are a great group of people. I've been there for a long time now. I started in their second season of the World Cup, those endurance races, and I mean, I keep coming back for it. It's a good thing they've got going. That's a much better line through that corner. That's what I want through that sweeping left-hander after the corkscrew. I want to try and get that sausage curb right in the middle of the car. Alright, 28.5, it's a bit of an improvement. We'll have one more flying lap. Right on the edge there. It's going to be no improvement, that's alright. We're going to jump off track, get this Discord link for you. Alright, Let's get this Discord link. Where are we? GT Champions. Invite people. Copy link. Can't do racing for 2 months. That's all right. Jump in. They're not starting their World Cup till they've got a series they're doing at the moment. Trying to start up. Oh, look, we're right behind Greenie now. Hey, Greenie. How you going, mate? That's all right. They start their World Cup series, the one that's on Saturday nights for you. They start that in September, so you've got a little while. Plus, they've got the midweek series anyone can jump into. So even if you just jump into their Discord, keep yourself up to date with everything. So yeah, just keep yourself up to date. That's fine. Yes, I did win the charity race in the second lobby. We had luck on our side. Benno didn't do so great. Yes, I did. That was the art thing. I can swing you to if you've. Jess got so many leagues to run. Look, there's another few leagues I do I can swing you to, but if you're American based, it might be a bit hard for you to do the Australian stuff. I need help. English is bad, I know. What do you have for settings on your steering wheel? I can't show you the second, mate. I did have a Logitech G29. Yep, no, I don't have it. I don't have it anymore. I've upgraded to a Thrustmaster TGT2. It's a step up. It's the step up I kind of needed. I did have a G29 before. I can give you what settings I'm using at the moment, but essentially I'm running, because I don't have a fixed seat, my seat slides around. I'm running the lightest springs in the brakes. Good luck, Greenie, mate. I'm right behind you. I'm running the lightest springs in the brakes. I'm pretty light on the steering. Yeah, so that's partly because I'm still getting used to it, and partly because my seat moves about the brakes. So ooh, sounds like there was a bit of commotion behind us. A bit wide on exit there. That's all right. We've gained a bit of space back to. Alright, so we've got about just under a second behind us. Oh, Jesus. These hard tyres I'm not quite used to. I'm used to running softs and mediums everywhere, so car's a bit slidey. It'll take us a lap or two. If we can maintain second, it'd be great. This is our second attempt at Daily B this week. We've got Greenie almost a second and a half ahead of us at the moment. We've got just under a second to third place behind us. Fourth isn't too far behind him. All we want from this week's daily races is to just improve our DR. Top 5 finishes, that's the stat that we want to keep improving. main account, you know I'm on S2T. No, this is my main account. This is my only account. I don't have an alt account like most other people. I've been meaning to, but then that means I've got to pour more time into the game to make that alt account and get it up to where I can play multiplayer on. And honestly, I can't be bothered doing that. I'm not someone that's so hung up on my ratings that if they drop, they drop. That's it. I don't really do this kind of stuff often. I'm making more of an effort now to do it. Yes, I am from S2T. It does say TTV Black Friday up there as my name, but that's my PSN. I don't bother with the nickname thing there. I've just got PSNs on, due to commentating other series where they do that. So. But yes, if you're aware of S2T, you want to make an Oz account so you can race with us. I mean, you can race with us off an American account. It's all you need to do is, it's all about your connection. If you can connect with us on your American account and you're not lagging all over the place and confusing the drivers with where you are on track, then you're welcome to come in. All you need to do is, like in the dailies, yeah, well in that case, yeah, you need to make an Oceania account. Doesn't have to be Oz, it can be New Zealand, it can be Japan. It's probably best to do it as Oz if you want to race with the Oz guys. So Greeny's run away a little bit, he's got about a 3-second lead over us at the moment. We've got a 1.5 seconds back to Hamish behind us in third. So the guy that was in third is now in fifth. Still trying to figure out a good line, a good brake balance. And these hard tyres are deceiving as well. You race with Art, oh nice. See, I only learned about Art a few weeks ago. I mean, Art Motorsport, the channel, Twitch channel Art Motorsport followed me a while ago, and then probably about a month or so ago, some of the boys were racing in their late night lobbies, and I jumped in and had a go with them, and that's the first I've known about Art. I do my own things. I do a team elsewhere called Juiced Motorsport. If I run series in other leagues, I tend to run as Juiced Motorsport. So I'm always preoccupied with that stuff. I kind of don't really know what's around or what's happening. But yes, I've got S2T in my GT7 nickname. I do represent the community. Juice Motorsport also represents the Street to Track sponsors, the Tyre Power GMCO. I also represent Think Auto and Juiced, obviously. But because I'm off doing my own thing, away from the guys so much, I kind of didn't know what was happening. Oh, Greeny's had an off. Greeny's had an off. This could be an opportunity. He's now going to have dirty tyres, heading into the corkscrew. We're a second behind him now. Can we make anything happen? Oh, he's gone a bit deep. Oh, Greeny made the mistake. Oh, right place, right time. Unlucky, Greeny. You led that for 90% of that race. 95% of that race. Unlucky, mate. Gets us the win and start. Dirty tyres twice. Yeah, I seen that. I seen you go off and I was like, oh my god, he's got dirty tyres. Short stint as an art driver and started your own team. Yeah, I mean, my team isn't like a team where I get people in to represent Juiced Motorsport and all that stuff. My team is more like I don't want to go elsewhere and create a street to track team and then get drivers that aren't street to track to come in and kind of taint the reputation. What I do with Juiced Motorsport is I utilize the sponsors from the community that I'm in and my own personal sponsors in Juiced Motorsport, and then I take drivers from the competitions we're in, and we collaborate and everything. So it's all about collaboration and working together. Um, Ooh, you've got A plus there now, Greenie. Your DR's A plus now. Settings. Okay, let's see these settings. What settings do you want to know? I'll show you what settings I've got. Oh, you've been A plus for a bit. Okay, let's go in the qualifying time trial. Force feedback. Alright, so that's the settings. Um, that's the settings there that I have at the moment. 3 on the torque and 8 on the sensitivity. I did have it on the G29. I did have it at about 5 or 6 for the torque. But this rim on this is slightly smaller on my TGT. Yeah, Aussie, the same. I was about 5 or 6. I have been meaning to turn it up. As I said, I've only had this wheel for a few weeks. I've had very limited time in adjusting to this wheel. So that's the settings I've run at the moment while I'm getting used to it. I am kind of used to the wheel itself, the pedals I'm still getting used to. But yeah, we might actually turn that up one. So that's what I run for that, and then that's the pedal calibration I've got at the moment. I'm not running full on the brake because I've got the spring very light. But yeah, on my G29 settings were all over the shop because I had broken pedals that had flickers, so these values were a lot different. I will be changing the brake setting once I get a seat to properly mount on my little setup here, because at the moment I'm just running this chair and it slides around everywhere. So until I figure out a way to recess this into the ground, or get another seat and build a base like I used to have years ago, until that happens, then that brake pressure stays there. Once that'll happen, the brake pressure will go up. Man, your main should be able to push up a bit. I don't mind, mate. I don't mind doing the grind and stuff. Actually, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at what our DR is. Yeah, tape it to the... Yeah. I don't think tape will work, because I've got a big piece of MDF, like a big rectangle piece of MDF. I've got my pedals bolted, because I couldn't keep them on the floor like my G29. I've got my pedals bolted to the MDF. And then I've got the seat on the other end of the MDF to counterweight it, and it's sliding around a bit more than what it would on the concrete ground. So let's quickly take a look at our DR and SR. So we're almost halfway up the A bar. We were about 3/4 up the A bar a couple of months ago on our DR, but we had quite a few issues at one of the dailies one week, and I think I did about 4 or 5 races, and I got absolutely destroyed My SR went down to B. My DR went all the way to the bottom of the graph for A. So, yeah. Let's try and get another lap in here. Now that we've turned the feedback up, the torque up one, let's see how much of a difference that actually makes. I'm also not sure what kind of brake balance to run. I do tend to like the rear brake balance, but I don't know if rear is really what you need around here. So we'll try and go with 0 on our brake balance. I'm also not sure exactly where I should be shifting this car. I'm thinking just before the red line, but that's only based off what the turbo's doing. Because it looks like there might be a bit more down low than up high. By the time we figure it out, it'll be time to get off and go and get the kids from school, so... this is better, actually. This force feedback at 4. Not force feedback, torque. The torque at 4. It's a lot better. Yeah, that's heaps better. I might even turn it up to 5 after the next race. And what I was thinking about doing with my chair is just getting out my power drill and recessing some holes into my MDF, so that's where the seat sits in. Because at the moment I'm like constantly adjusting it. If you watched or Nino, you would have seen parts of the charity race. 3 hours with this chair that slides around a bit, I was constantly adjusting myself. But that was actually a really good charity race. I can't believe we kind of ran away with it. We qualified like second, I think, in our lobby. And Guilty ahead of us, he kind of burnt through his fuel pretty quickly in the first stint. And then Benno behind us, who was faster all throughout every practice session, he had some incidents. He got a few half-second pens. He picked up some damage at one point, so I was expecting to be fighting with Benno and possibly coming home second or third, but because of their strategies, and then we managed to get we managed to start up. We did our first stint, we got 12 laps out of our tyres and fuel, and then I realised I could get 13 laps on the next stint out of my fuel. Still 12 laps on the tyres, but because of going that extra lap for all those pit stops, it meant that I was probably going to be doing a much slower stint, a much shorter stint at the end of the race than other people. How far behind did he finish? Did which one finish? So basically the way it worked out is because it was on the timer, Benno finished 1 lap behind us. He completed 84 laps, we completed 83. But if you were to go off actual time before that happened, he was about a minute behind us, and I think he did an extra pit stop. Not a full pit stop. But yeah, we did lap whoever was in fourth. Guilty. He was in fourth. We did lap him a few times, but that was because of pitch strategies, etc. He did finish that 1 lap down instead of 2 laps down. So we finished on 85 laps. Benno, Guilty, and whoever the other guy was, I haven't raced with him before, they all finished on 84 laps, and then the rest of the field were a few laps down plus. I think the guy that came last was 6 or 7 laps behind me, so yeah, it wasn't a bad race. Would have been good if had a bit more battling going on, but you know, a win's a win at the end of the day. We hit the mark we needed to hit for the charity and everything, so that's the most important part of it. Yeah, Benno was in the old GT 500 GTR, the 99 Nissan Skyline GTR GT3. Um, I was in the Beetle. And then I think third, fourth, and fifth um, were all in the Mercedes, the newer GT3 Mercedes, the 20 or the 22 or whatever it is. Um, yeah. Oh, I'm about just under halfway on the progress bar in game, where you've got A and you've got the progress bar underneath. I'm probably somewhere in between a third, halfway up that bar. So we're almost back up to where we were before we got destroyed that couple of months ago. It wasn't a Beetle. Yeah, no, I chose the Beetle for two reasons. One, I did a series in it not too long ago, so I am quite comfortable in the Beetle. Also, because I knew it's got that seventh gear. It's decent on its tyres, and it's got that seventh gear, so I knew I could save a little bit of fuel. I was going to do it in the Aston or the Mercedes, but yeah, I was just that little bit more comfortable in the Beetle, and I'm glad I chose it because then I managed to end up getting the 13 lap stints, which I think essentially helped seal that win. That's what you use for Tuesday night series. The Beetle. It's a good little car once you get used to it. Especially if you know you're not going to run out of tyres. If you know you're not going to run out of tyres, it's really good for throwing your brake balance about three to the rear, and then you get some pretty good turn in on it too. Alright, once again starting behind Greeny here. Oh, the GT 500 GTR. I haven't really raced them too much. Oh, Greeny picking up some dirty tyres. Might compromise him a bit here and going into the corkscrew. He wasn't fully off though, so he should be alright. Ah, the Super GT series, that's right. I was thinking of the GT3 series they were doing. Alright, we've got about a second and a half behind us to third. Greeny's half a second ahead of us, leading the way. Greeny there ahead using all that track, throwing those right-hand tyres into the dirt. A little bit squirrely through that fast left-hander there. Don't think we're really close enough to make a move at all. still got about a second and a half behind us. Fastest lap just changed about 5 times in about 3 seconds. Staying in touch here with Greenie, which is good. It's helping us figure out a good line for the track. We just had a bit of a lag from him there, but that's nothing too bad. Expected in daily races a bit. I don't know if I'm lagging for him, but it's alright. We've hit that sausage. Hit the sausage, unsettled the car a little bit, lost a tenth or two. Same thing again there, we've just gone over the sausage and it's unsettled us a bit. So right, we've got 2 laps left now. Greenie's still in first, we're still in second. So the top 2 order hasn't changed. As I said, we're not necessarily looking for the wins here today. Top 5s are what we want. We want to raise that DR. Podiums are what we really want. Romeo said you should be on controller and not wheel. Yeah, that's because Romeo had you nipping at his heels. That's why Romeo said that. Yeah, he considered you a bit of a threat when you're on the wheel and qualified really close to him. Well, that might be a corner cut. Yeah, 1 second penalty. It's our first penalty of the day. A bit too aggressive trying to cut that sweeping left-hander after the corkscrew. It'll slow us down, but it shouldn't slow us down enough to lose a position. Actually, we'll serve it next lap, so we should be fine. You start on racing soft every race. I used to always pick the better tyre at the starter races, and then I don't know if you know, but there's a racer called Ando 787. He races in multiple events everywhere. I race him in the Tuesday Motor Motion series, and he reached out to me not long ago, and in fact he actually said it on the last broadcast as well, that if you start a race, for argument's sake, if you were to start a race on a soft tyre and you got 12 laps out of that tyre before it died, and then you pit and you go back onto a soft tyre, because of the way the game works and that, you will tend to get about 13 laps with the same fuel load, the same everything. You tend to get that extra lap out of the better tyre if you use it after your pit, and it goes with all the tyres too. Yeah, you tend to get an extra lap or whatever out of it. So I've started going with the crapper of the tyres first, and then onto the better tyre. Well, there's that penalty. But on Sunday, what we did a 2-stop. I pit maybe 2 or 3 laps too early for the first stint. But yeah, we did soft, and then we went back out on softs, and then we came home on mediums for like the last 5 laps. Had a horrible line going to the corkscrew. I picked up a 1 second penalty coming after the corkscrew, that sweeping left-hander. I cut the inside a bit too much and picked up a 1 second. But we still maintained second, so it's no big loss. Clean race as well. Two laps on racing mediums, went back on racing soft. Well, I don't know why I pit when I pit. I think I was just in a bit of a trance and not thinking properly, because I pit and I still had like 19 litres, 19% of my fuel, so I could have gone another 2 or 3 laps. Ideally, what the ideal strategy there I think would have been is starting on the softs, going as far as you can on the softs, pitting, filling up, going as far as you can on the softs again, and hoping that you're only doing... Because where the pit lane is, it's halfway around the track there at Tokyo. So, ideally, you would pit on the very last lap for the medium tyre, and then only have to do the half a lap on the medium tyre. But then you've got to make your fuel last that long and all that stuff, and yeah, because when I first pit, I couldn't really do that, so I had to suffer for like 5 laps on the medium tyre, which wasn't that bad because I had Bondi ahead of me, desperately fuel saving, and I almost got him. But we did manage to pick up the fastest lap and finish in 5th after fucking spinning at the chicane at the end of the track there, spinning at the chicane twice, being held up in traffic and everything, so was still pretty happy with that result. Alright, let's see if we can improve slightly. We've got a 28.583 as our time. I really should be doing Motor Motion TCR practice, but then it's just going to be me going around Watkins by myself for a couple of hours practicing, which is going to be kind of boring. And you had the pace from 9th. Well, I said as the race was starting, I'm like, Aussie for podium, because I didn't realise you started on the racing softs, but I seen you were like all over the back of Rome straight away, all over the back of him, throwing pressure on him from everywhere. So you looked very racy, and I mean, especially since you're back on the wheel now, you've gained time. It's a lot easier coming back to a wheel than it is trying to race on controller after you're used to a wheel. So I bet you're loving life. What have you got? You've got a G29, don't you? Because when I had my G29, I went on eBay and I purchased a set of 3 stiffer springs for all the pedals. So the springs that go in the pedals there, they were a lot harder, and it made the brakes so much better. And then what I did is that out of those harder springs as well, I used the one that was meant for the clutch in the accelerator, and that like this accelerator I'm using right now, it's so light. It is so light. I'm used to having something heavier, a lot heavier, something I've actually got to put pressure in to accelerate. So it's taking a bit of time for me to get used to this. That's one thing I will do with this pedal set, is get a stiffer spring to put in the accelerator. But I do recommend, if you've got a G29, it only costs about $50, 50 or 60 bucks I think, off eBay, which also eBay you can afterpay, and it puts those hardened springs in, and yeah, it transformed the pedals. It made them have feeling in them rather than feeling a bit numb. I will actually look into that for you. Oh shit. That's alright. It's alright. I'll actually look into that for you, Aussie, because there was a particular brand I used and everything, and then You can look it up yourself and make your own decision about it. But especially if you're saving up for another wheel and you're going to be using the G29 for quite a while, it'd be worth looking into those springs, getting that bit more of a sensation. Especially the brake, it was the brake pedal for me that was the biggest difference. It feels so lifeless, the standard G29. It felt like there was nothing there. And then when I put that brake pedal in, I could modulate my brakes a lot better. So I'll look them up for you and send you a link to them, and then you can do your own research into it. But yeah, I mean, like, I 100% recommend them for anyone on a G29. You got them on a track racer sim, nice. Nice. I haven't got a actual sim set up. I've just got a big, thick computer desk that the wheel is connected to. I did a couple of years ago when I started sim racing. I built my own sim rig for under $100, and it was just a rectangle box frame. I don't know if you've seen what Kenty's got. How he's got his seat on a rectangle box frame with his pedals attached to the other end. I had something very similar. I had something exactly like that, but I also put like a little desk on the end over the top of the pedals. So it's just a few bits of timber and another piece of shit. That's alright. Yeah, it was just like a rectangle box, and then at the end I had four pieces of timber, another piece of MDF, and that's where the wheel and the TV went onto. And then I grabbed a seat out of a crashed Subaru Forester. I grabbed the passenger seat out of that, and bolted that to the frame. It was quite good. I actually really miss it. Let's find. Alright, here we go. Alright, I'll put a link in the chat for you, Aussie. This is the actual website and the springs that I got. I got them off eBay, because I had like a 10% off voucher or something on eBay. So I actually got them off eBay, but this is their actual website. And if you go into it, it will, that link will show you, essentially what it is. The complete pedal spring set for the G25, G27, G29, G920. And then what I did is the clutch spring I put in the accelerator, because it was quite a bit stiffer. And I didn't really use the clutch pedal at all, because my clutch pedal on my G29 broke after a while. But anyway, yeah, so that's the actual brand that did it, and the website. They do have, you can just buy the brake spring itself, but yeah, I brought all the springs, so it's about $30 for just the brake. It's about $70 for the brake, clutch, and accelerator pedals, and that's what I did. I got the set of 3, the brake, clutch, and accelerator pedals, because I figured, why spend $30 on one spring and then come back and spend another $30 on another, and I'll just get the whole bundle. Yeah, just save it. Yeah, so have a look into it, check out reviews and stuff. That's just the website, so that's not the eBay listings or whatever, but look into it. That's what I did. I spent a day researching it. Someone recommended it to me, and then I checked it out, and I decided to do it. And it made the pedals that did feel lifeless and very numb, um, a lot stiffer. And because of that, it allowed me to be able to be more accurate on the brake and the accelerator. And I think it's a great investment, especially if you've got a G29, you're planning on having it for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months before you upgrade. I had my G29 for 5 years. I was probably due an upgrade a few years ago when it started breaking, but they are a good wheel. Like to do what you want to do, they are a good wheel. Oh, we're starting fourth. Couple of other guys are in now. They've improved their time. We haven't been able to improve our time. Greeny's still starting first. So hopefully we can gain that spot or two. As I said, top 5 finishes is what we want. That's the stat we want to improve. Top 5s will help with our DR as well. But podiums will be great. Okay, starting fourth. Greeny with a 27.9. The nice default livery that we have. Turn our traction off. It's good. I want to start ahead of that corner every race. That's slows you down quite a bit when you start at that corner or behind that corner. Alright, here we go. So it looks like there's a front-wheel drive. It looks like it's a Scirocco, possibly. In second, behind Greeny there. I would like to break out the Mazda 3 TCR car, but going alright in this. We need to learn. Seems to be the choice this week, the G70. We need to kind of learn how to drive it. We're a creature of habit. We drive the same cars all the time. So it's kind of good that we're learning something new this week. A bit wide there. Picked up some dirt on our right-hand tyres. All over the back of third still, so we're going alright. I'm going to give that spot back. Oh, I've just realised he's got juiced on the top there. Nice. Didn't take advantage of that bump. Ooh. We just had a guy, Hamish, send it on us. No contact, great move there. Knocked us back to 5th. Side by side into this next corner. Because we've got the outside line, not much we can do there in overtaking. Oh shit. Hamish has gone off. Didn't seem like there was any contact there. But you never know in these dailies, because there's always a bit of netcode between some of the drivers. See if we can get back up to this podium. shit, we've hit that sausage. And we've gone around. Alright, now we're on the recovery drive. Jesus, look at that. We've hit the sausage while we're in fourth. We've gone around. We've got back on the track with no damage, no major incident. Just the fact that we've spun and we've had to pick up reverse gear to get ourselves around, and we're back to 11th. So not great. Unfortunately, you can't have a clean run in every race. Shit happens. Gonna see what happens if we throw the brake balance all the way to the rear now. This will be a good time to experiment a little and see if we can get a bit more of an aggressive turn in on things and try and avoid the sausages, which we're not doing. Ooh, 10th place has run really wide there. Alright, so we managed to get back up into the 10. About a second and a half behind 9th. We're at 14 seconds behind Greenie now, so there's no chance of a podium. There's a potential, I think, potential for 7th if everything goes our way. We've got 9th ahead of us now. It's picked up a half-second penalty, so we'll be able to take advantage of that. It looks like 8th has got a penalty as well. I didn't see how much it is. Oh, he's got a second and a half. And 7th has a penalty too. 7th not taking his penalty now. These two ahead of me will. So that's 2 spots picked up. We're up into 8th, 2 seconds behind 7th on the last lap, so 7th has a half-second penalty to serve at the end of this lap, just before we cross the line. You've got 5th and 6th ahead, side by side, having a bit of fight. 7th's gone off track. We're going to gain more time to him. If we can keep gaining, we might even be able to overtake him before he serves his penalty. Yeah, he's all over the shop at the moment. Alpha Alien in 7th. Alright. Oh, Jesus. He's tried to turn on us. And 7th. So, yeah, unfortunately, a bit of an incident there at that left-hand kink for the corkscrew. So we lost DR that time. That's alright. That's okay. It's all good. Sorry, I've just been sent a video and it's sideways. So I'm trying to have a look. Okay. I just got to reply to this message. I'm talking to one of the guys I race with elsewhere. Another street to track guy. Oh, okay. Alright, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get some kind of improvement. I did like that feeling of being more to the rear on the brakes. Let's see if we can better our 28.5. Even something like a 28.3 or a 28.2 would be really good. I'd be really happy with any kind of improvement, to be honest. I'm not someone that races on hard tyres really at all, so it's a bit out of my comfort zone to be on a tyre that's so slidey. I'm used to racing on mediums and softs all the time. Doesn't feel quicker, but it feels a lot smoother. I feel like I've got that little bit more control on my turn in with the rear brakes, and that's what half of the battle is, I think. It's just taking advantage of getting the front of the car turned in and being able to put your foot down on the power. So 28.9, so yeah, it wasn't quicker, but felt smoother, so that's a good baseline to start with now. Potential improvement here, 28,371. It's good, that's where we want to be. That's where we want to be. This lap's pretty much a write-off now. Alright, so we're 4th on our friends ranking. We're 676 at the moment. In global ranking, it's pretty fucking good. Top 1,000, I'll take that. I'm not, I'm not the quickest racer around, so I will enjoy that. So 28.3 is our time, and the quickest time is 8:26.9. Fuck. So we're a second and a half off the top 3 essentially. And we are just over, probably about 0.8 off, 0.7, 0.8 off a top 100 time. So there's potential there to improve. We're not going to push it too much at the moment because the next race is starting soon. Race should be starting very shortly, at about 15 seconds before we're in the lobby. We're having an alright run, aren't we? Besides last race, we've been in the top 5 every race, which is exactly where we wanted to be. It was only the last one that we lost DR. We've gained DR for every other one. Ooh, hold on. We're starting first. We are starting first. Is there anybody that we know in here? Not really. So we've got potential here. Starting first. Just under half a second difference time between first and second here. So there is potential. I mean, there's potential if we keep it on track for a podium anyway. I know personally I'm not great at qualifying, but I'm slightly better at actually racing, especially when strategies are involved. So it's a different leading the pack off. Nice clean start. Didn't hear any incidents. Not trying to pull away, just trying to make sure we hit our marks and not overdrive the car at the moment. So we've got about a second lead now. If we can maintain that kind of distance, then we won't really be under any pressure. As I said, not trying to pull away, just trying to hit our marks. We've gone a bit wide at that last corner. Haven't lost too much time. Lost a few tenths there. I'm getting used to this G70 now. A bit deep into the brakes there. That's a penalty. Oh, that's going to be another penalty. So just like that, in 2 corners, we pick up a half second and a 1 second penalty to give us a total of a second and a half, which is going to put us on the back foot at the end of the next lap. Looks like we're far enough ahead of third that we should be alright, but Hamish is only sitting about 6 tenths behind us, so he's going to pick up the advantage from this. All we can really do is hope he makes some kind of mistake. gained a few tenths, but it's not going to help us. We're going to be on the back foot for this last lap. So we just served our 2.5 penalty. We're just given Hamish first position. He is now 7 tenths ahead of us. Can we put some pressure on and gain some time? Yep, and we've both gone wide. Oh. We've both gone wide. We've both got dirty tyres. We've managed to take first back. And we've picked up a half-second penalty, which is going to give us a 1-second penalty at this line. We need 2 tenths to make up now, to make sure we stay, yes. So we're going to finish about 1.5 ahead. It's going to give us a 1-second penalty. And Hamish picked up a penalty too. That was very lucky there. Oh, very lucky and very close for that last lap between ourselves and Hamish. We've both made the same mistakes. But we just managed to not be as big of a mistake there in turn 3. And that's where we managed to get our position back. Alright, let's have a look. How much has our DR gone up? Fuck all, really. Almost halfway. We've raised our top 5 stats. We just got the win there. Alright, so I'm going to take a quick break for 2 minutes, and then I'll be back with you guys. Alright, we're back. We are back with some... Yep, we're back with some cordial. Oh. Good old orange cordial, eh? Move that cord out of the way. Yep. Alright. Sorry, I just got some messages I'll deal with before this next race. And then once the next race is done, we'll try and improve our time again. Where did I write that? Was that meant to be there? Just did a 29.854 for race B. What was mine? A 28.3? 28.3. I found putting the brake balance towards the rear helped. But that's just what I prefer, to be honest, Ozzy. I prefer that rear brake balance, just to get the nose to turn in a bit more. You did that too? Yeah. We might try for one lap. See if we can improve at all. Yeah, 28.371 is our time there. Let's try and improve this. Probably be helpful to go into the qualifying time trial rather than entering the race and downloading one of the top 10 ghosts and seeing where we can pick up that little bit of extra time. Don't do daily on your main account? Yeah, I don't have an alt account, so I do. But then again, I'm not so hung up. Oh, heaps of understeer. You can feel it in the wheel. I don't care if my rating drops or whatnot. You know, 99% of what I do is private leagues. It doesn't matter about that. It just matters about how you conduct yourself on the track, so about half a second off our best time. And then I also know everyone's different, but I like to set my ghost about 4/10 ahead of us. Two reasons. One, I get to view where all the break points and stuff are, and I don't intentionally over push because I can't see the ghost. And two, then I know if I do catch up to the ghost that I've gained 3 or 4 tenths. But yeah, this race will kick off in about 10 seconds. Starting first again. It'd be nice if we could get some people that we knew in with us, like Greedy at the start. Oh, excuse me. This is what happens when you only get like 3-4 hours sleep at night. It'd be good to have some guys that we knew in the lobbies with us. But then again, it's almost midday here, and most people work or have commitments or stuff. Honestly, we dropped the kids at school, we came home, we just jumped straight on this. And then I'd be jumping off and basically getting myself sorted to go back and walk to the kids' school and pick them up again. So that's today, and then tonight we'll be live again for round, I think it's round 5 now of the Motor Motion TCR Cup. Tonight is Watkins Glen, 23 laps with a mandatory soft that I hear only lasts for about 7-8 laps. So there's a potential 2-stop there. I think that's the safest option, is the 2-stop. We haven't done any testing for it though, so it might even be viable to run the softs to that 8 lap mark and then throw on a set of hards. I don't know. I haven't tested, so we'll do that later before the race, but we probably won't be doing that on stream. It's a pretty clean getaway on that first lap. Lost a fair bit of time after the corkscrew, but still in the lead. Cheers, Aussie. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for keeping us company. You enjoy your day, mate. picked up a bit more of that sausage than we wanted to. We've got 2 laps left, still in the lead. We've got about a 1.5 second lead over second place at the moment. Made a few mistakes there. Bit slow leading up to the corkscrew. Bit deep into the corkscrew. Not the ideal line out of that sweeping left-hander after the corkscrew. So let's see if we can improve that fastest time now. Too much sausage there. I was hoping to hook those right wheels on the other side of it. Oops, same there. Shit. Not going to improve on the fastest lap. That's alright, we still came first. Largely incident-free race, no penalties, just not on the pace, really, not on the pace that we set. Oh, what did I do that for? Three stars there, pole position, fastest lap and clean race. Okay, let's try and figure out where we can gain some time from these faster guys. If their ghosts can show us where, I mean, they are a second and a half quicker than us over the whole lap, so even if we can only figure out a few corners where they are quicker, that'll help us. Jesus, look how quick that is. Alright. Ah, that sucks. Alright, one more try. 28-1 now. Oh, yeah. No dice. Alright, let's go back to the race. Show the replay from this guy. No, not right now. I want to get across to the race before it actually starts. We did manage to pick up 2/10 off our best time there, so it was very worth jumping in for a second on that replay. Excuse me. Okay. Starting first again. Still, I mean, there's a few people we've been racing with this morning, but there's still no one that we really know or are aware of that we race with externally. It's like I've just hit a wall. I'm getting really tired all of a sudden. Okay. we've hit that sausage pretty nasty. Lucky to keep it on track. Hit that sausage. That's not ideal at all. That slowed us down heaps. Look at that, we've given up 3/4 of a second almost to second spot just by mistiming that entry and hitting the sausage into that left-hander before the corkscrew. Now we've got pressure behind us, 3.5 tenths behind us now. Oh, we've run wide a little bit. He must have had a bit of a mistake there because he's dropping back now. Alright, last lap, 2-second lead. Just got to keep it on track and hit our marks and we should be fine. another win today. Alright, let's see how we're going for our DR. It's barely moved. It's barely moved at all. It's gone from about 1/3 up the bar to about halfway up the bar. Still, you know, I welcome it going up and up and up, so that's good. But let's jump back into B here. Art Motorsport, welcome in, mate. G'day, mate. Grinding the dailies, yeah. Yeah, trying to get that DR rating up a bit. It is going up, but it's moving very slowly. But you know, we jumped on stream and said we wanted to raise our top 5 stats up, so we started raising that up. We've got a few wins as well. It's a grind, took you and Smithy ages. Yeah, it is a bit of a grind. We've been predominantly, I mean, on GT Sport we were a B racer right up until the last couple of weeks. Where we finally cracked into the A, and then GT7 got released and we dropped back down to B pretty much straight away. We have been a lot closer to the A+ than what we are now, but a month or two ago there was daily races at, I think, Saudi A in the GT3 cars, and I did like 4 races and I just got absolutely fucking murdered every race. So we lost SI, our SI went back to B, our DR we lost all of our progress in A. We stayed A, but yeah, so now we've got our SR back up. We don't have an alt account that we do things on, we just have the one account. Yeah, it sucks, but yeah, as you said, that's dailies, you know, you run that gauntlet. If I had time to do the manufacturer or Nations Cup, we know that they are quite a bit cleaner. But yeah, we're not a big fan of these sprint races, but I'm not a big fan of what Daily C is this week, so normally we like that longer style race. But you know, we've got to take what we can get. We don't mind Laguna Seca. We're slowly wrapping our head around the Genesis and what it's like to drive. But yeah, look, in all honesty, as much as we would love that A+ rating, it's not the end of the world not being there. We predominantly do private league stuff, and that they don't really care about your ratings. They just care about how you conduct yourself on track. So at the end of the day, as much as we'd love to get into that A+ category, it's not a necessity. it's not going to change anything really about how we approach this game or what we do on this game, so it's just a nice little goal to set yourself at the end of the day. So that was about a 10th off our quickest time today. Also got to remember we're still kind of coming to grips and altering our settings with this this new wheel as well. And in doing this we are neglecting practice for tonight's motor motion race as well. A little bit loose there. Shit. Keep it on track. Does driving line help? Been a bit garbage, so might give it a try. Yeah, look, until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, like I haven't changed my assists at all. Probably about 4 weeks ago we ceased working, and while we were working we just had absolutely no time to practice for events. So half the reason the driving line was on was to give me reference, because I'd rock up to a race, have 5 minutes of practice before the race actually kicked off in the lobby, and kind of wing it with strategy. And so the driving line was on just to give me reference, because I never really was able to put any more than 10 minutes practice into a race. But we've been able to lately. I mean, I just leave it on. I can drive without it on. But it is a good, I think it's a good reference point. You know, you can figure out roughly, you don't have to follow it, but if you're thereabouts, it does help you kind of pick up on the flow of the track. See here, it's quite a shallow line and we come out very wide. So it does help you pick up the flow of the track easier, and then you just kind of make your own line as you go. Give it a go, you know, like worst case scenario, you find it annoying and you hate it and you turn it off, like, no biggie. As I said, I just leave it on. I can race without it. It's not the end of the world if it's not on for me. There's other events I do that, you know, traction control's banned, and I use that for, at the moment I'm using that not for this car, but for a lot of the GT3 cars, because I am on new wheel and pedals, and it's very different to what I've had before. So I used to have the Logitech G29 before, but I bought a set of stiffened springs for it, so I'm used to having a very, very firm accelerator, and now on this pedal set, it's very soft. Well, there's a pen, it's alright. So at the moment, while I'm still trying to readjust, it can stay on. I will have to look into getting a stiffer spring for it though. You have the G29 too? Yeah, so I had the G29. I've had it for about 5 years. About 3-4 weeks ago, it took an adventure into the bin. Well, not really. It's somewhere. Like, I'm in the garage. It's somewhere in my pile of shit here. But for the last, like, 2 years, I've been dealing with pedal flickering from the brake and the accelerator. When the accelerator's fully pressed in, the pedal would flicker. When I was not touching the brakes would flicker. And no matter how much I cleaned them out or tried to fix it, it didn't work. My clutch was permanently stuck on. I had to have, you know, in that part in the setting where you adjust, this setting where you adjust all your values and stuff. I had minimum pressure was about 30% on the brake pedal, so it would stop the flickering happening. I would have to rest my foot on the brake slightly so it wouldn't flicker, and then the accelerator was only about 80% I could put on there. So I was quite compromised on those pedals. A good mate of ours had this spare wheel. Now it is upgraded. It's the Thrustmaster TGT2 with the load cell brake pedal, and it's like night and day. I mean, if I could, I would have upgraded a lot sooner. But the G29's alright for what it is. I had the stiffened springs in mine, so it wasn't too bad. Because when I first got the G29, the brake and the accelerator, they felt very lifeless, very numb. And I think it was about 60 odd bucks off eBay, and I got a set of 3 stiffer springs. And then the clutch pedal spring was stiffer than the accelerator spring, so I put the clutch pedal spring in the accelerator. So I had to put quite a bit of force into the accelerator, which helped me modulate that. Then having the stiffer brake pedal also helped me modulate that when I needed to use it. And now we're on this wheel and pedals. I've adjusted to the wheel itself, but it's having a super light accelerator pedal now that's kind of throwing me out of whack. And because I've got the harder, the load cell pedal with the proper springs in it, I'm on a padded metal fold-up chair that now gets pushed around whenever I use a bit of force in the brake. So still got some things to sort out with the setup, but being like I'm back up to the pace I was before, and now we're starting to get better and better at gaining a tenth here and there and being a bit more consistent. But I do highly recommend, if you can afford it, to upgrade. The G29 is good for what it is. I do highly recommend those springs. Getting distracted. I do highly recommend those springs. They are a good investment, especially if you're sticking with the G29 for a while. I do like the GT2. I've heard really good things about the Logitech G Pro. That would be my choice if money wasn't an issue, but I was lucky enough to grab this off a mate and organise a way to pay him, because I just can't afford to outlay you know, the $1,000+ that it would be to get something similar to this brand new. Alright, so we're on our second lap, a bit of a clean getaway, no incidents, at least for the top few here on that first lap. Just over a second ahead now. Just need to hit our marks, try not to scrub too much speed or lose too much time through some of these corners. Should be smooth sailing. That could potentially be a penalty now, I say that. Yeah, half second. So, because that was at the corkscrew, that should get served next lap. So as long as we keep this kind of gap to second, we should be right. Once we fall below a second, we might lose first spot here on the straight. Kind of close to this braking zone here. Oh no, no, big mistake there. Alright, because of that mistake, we're going to give up first place here to position 2, but we'll still have 2 laps to try and come back from it. Oh, I'm pushed out wide as well. That's okay. Alright, head down, bum up now. About a second behind first place now. Oh, I hate that sausage. Lucky he's picked up a half-second pen, and he's going to serve it this lap. Alright, so that's gifted us first place back. Both us and second place have now served half-second penalties. It looked like he went for a bit of a dive bomb there. Just going to stay ahead of him now. Looks like he went a bit deep into that last corner. It's given us a few tenths breathing space. And we just need to pick up no penalties from here and keep it on track. Yep, and he's gone deep into that corkscrew there. Alright, it's not the prettiest of wins, but we've done it. We've managed another first place today. It's only going to help our DR. Alright. DR slowly increasing. Good win. Cheers, Art. Thanks, mate. I think we go for one more race today. We should have time for one more. Entry deadline in 9 minutes. That'll be 12:50 my time. Then I'm getting off at 1:15, let's say. 1:10. That'll give me enough time. Yeah. So this is going to be potentially the last race for us. Let's see if we can improve a little bit on our time. I'd love to get into those 27s, but we have bettered our time by quite a bit already. So we're at 4:68 in the globals, still 4th on our friends list. When we hadn't really driven the car until today, it's a good effort, I reckon. Alright, we'll get a few laps done, we'll get this last race done, then we'll raid out to someone, and then I can go deal with picking up the kids, and then coming back and getting set up for some practice for Motor Motion tonight. Motor Motion TCR Cup, if anyone is unaware. Check out Motor Motion E-Series on YouTube that shows our races. It's a bit different. It's 2 lobbies, 14 teams. It's a round robin kind of event where everyone ends up racing each other the same amount of times, and you stick with your teammate. So there's 7 teams in each lobby, and you and your teammate go through a rotation of versing all the other teams. So it seems like all the real heavy hitters of the series in Asta Racing, Mikuga, Street to Track, all of those teams are going to be in one lobby. Hooncorp's even in the same lobby as them. So it's going to be a very tight race for them. We're silently hopeful that having some of those other names not in it, so not being up against those bigger teams, we've got a really good potential for a podium for ourselves. And I've got my fingers crossed for, a top 7 result for my teammate. Who's streaming it? Alright, so I stream all of my races that I do, except when I only jump into races every now and again. I stream, so I'll be streaming my point of view tonight from about 8 o'clock onwards. It's 23 laps at Watkins Glen, a mandatory soft tyre. We're in the Mazda Group 4s. I'm not sure if anyone's streaming it from the other lobby. I think one of the CP Motorsport guys streams his point of view, but I'm not sure if he's in that lobby or not. But then there is a delayed broadcast on YouTube. So the YouTube video that went up last night from Motor Motion E-Series is the delayed and commentated broadcast from last week, which were actually, funnily enough, we were here. So we're going to be attempting to get on the podium. We are 4th in the Drivers' Championship. Teams Championship doesn't really matter that much. I think we're 6 out of 14 in that. We're 4th in the Drivers' Championship. We're 5 points behind 3rd, and then we've got a point behind us to 4th, and then another point back to 5th. I think there's only like 20 points separating the top 8 or some shit like that. So yeah, who's the teammate? My teammate is a guy that goes by the name of Matt Smacker. He has Smacker Tech Racing or Motorsport or something. He used to run a team called ASER. We've known him for quite a while. He reached out to me and was interested in driving in the series, so we picked him up as our teammate for it. Which is another thing that's a bit unique about this series, is there's no divisions. It's you BYO driver, and you guys go for gold. So, you know, you've got people in there, like you've got the Mekuga boys of Disposable Hero and Ando 787. They're a pretty fucking amazing team, to be honest. And then you got Hoon Corp, where you've got Lewis driving for Hoon Corp, and then his name's Jacobs. iPhone Doc is his PSN. They're a really strong team, and then you've got a couple of Street to Track boys there too. So you've got Banana and Goju from Street to Track, dipping their toes in some external rep. We race, do our team Juiced Motorsport. We have done for quite a while. We've been there for a while. This is the only series they do where it's like a BYO driver and there's no divisions, there's no qualifying for it, nothing. Does make things a bit interesting. The other series they do, they just finished a Porsche Cup, which was division based. They also do a GT3 series, which is coming back soon. I think it's coming back in a couple of months. Well, that one's division based as well, and then they had a Supercar series, which is division based. But yeah, check them out. Motormotion E series, you can check them out. They've got a Facebook page, they've got a website, and they've got YouTube. Unfortunately, not on Discord, but apparently not everyone likes that platform. And I think it's also because on platforms like Facebook, you're not hiding behind a PSN, so you're actually get taken account for your actions. That's another thing they also do, is that because it's mostly on Facebook, their stuff, when you watch the broadcasts and replays, they actually call you by your real name. They will say your PSN and shit, but they also call you by your real name, so it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit different hearing your name called out on YouTube on a stream instead of your alias you go by as your PSN or as your GT7 nickname. Spewing, if I didn't get that penalty, that could have been a potential best lap for us. Alright, this is going to be more than likely our last race today. Oh, absolutely fucking freezing here too. Still haven't really, besides Greenie earlier, we still haven't really got anyone in that we know. So we had Greenie in for the first 3 or 4 races that we did. which was nice to have a mate on track, but since then it's just kind of been against randoms. Good luck. Cheers, mate. Yeah, just got to try and hit our marks and not overdrive the car. I mean, it's a bit hard, especially on the hard tyres. It's not something I'm really used to. I'm used to cars that like grip up a lot more. You know, we run a lot of series on softs or mediums, so being on the hards, it's a bit sketchy at times, but this car seems to be doing very well around this track. So we've done over 200 kilometers worth of driving today in this car. So we've learnt a bit about it. You can see why people like it. So we'll do this. We'll go open our roulette tickets, and then we'll potentially raid out to someone else playing Gran Turismo. Alright, so we've gained a bit of a lead. There was, looks like it was a bit sketchy at turn 1 for second and third. So if we can, that's gonna be a pen. I was about to say, if we can avoid penalties and keep it on track, we'll be right. But we just picked up a half-second pen there at the corkscrew. But we'll serve that next lap, so got to try and put our foot down a little bit, make sure we've got about 1.2 second lead, and then we should be able to defend that first spot even after the penalty. Alright, might be a bit close here, trying to defend this penalty. Might try and dive down the inside here. And he does. Oh, and he does. It's alright. Rubbing is racing a little bit. And big believer of if you can dish it, you can take it. I don't mind being nudged and pushed around. As long as I'm not purposely like fucking sent off track. We've both picked up the sausage there. This little scrap we're having now is letting third catch up to us. Oh, come on, mate. Give me some space. Alright, we're going to have 2 laps to try and catch back up. Oh, looks like he tapped that wall. That might be the mistake that we need to take advantage of. Bit of an early break from him, earlier than where we like to break, so didn't push him off. He's braking a lot earlier. Either that guy in third is a mate of his that is trying to help, and he picks up a half second. Look at him, look how oh well, last lap. Got pressure behind us. Skipped away a little bit. Let's try and maintain this gap. Now second and third are battling. That's exactly what we want. They're going to trip over each other potentially. But now that they're worried about each other, it's allowing us to drive away that little bit. Oh, fuck. My seat just fell off the platform. I'm like fully stretched out trying to accelerate a brake right now. Shit. Oh, fuck! It gave me a scare. I thought I was going to fall back and smack my head in the garage door. Jeez. And fastest lap. Yeah, I noticed that, but I don't know if that's going to be fastest lap for the race or not. But it got us the win. That's what we wanted. Got a little bit elbows out with whoever that was that did the dive on us in turn 1. But as I said, like it wasn't too malicious. He you can dish it, you can take it kind of deal. I don't mind being elbows out anyway. SR's gone down apparently, but our DR's gone up, so we'll have a look at what it's gone with today. We've gone, I think it was about a quarter way up the bar. And it's just over halfway now, so it's only going up very slightly. Yeah, just over halfway, very slightly. The SR's gone down a little bit, but it's still an S. Let's get our disappointment tickets. Yeah, A plus in no time. We were a bit closer, and then we had that all that shit happen about a month ago. I think it was the Sardi A daily B or daily C race. We'll figure out who we can raid. I've got a couple of these Mac 40s now, all from roulette tickets. We'll finish off with the 5-star. I bet you that'll be the one where we only get a little bit off it. Maserati MC20. So not the worst roulette tickets. We could have got like 5 grand, 10 grand off these like you normally do, but instead we've gotten some cars that we can potentially sell for a bit more, and we'll finish off with our 5-star. We might go raid Manny as well. Oh, look at that. What a good set of roulette tickets, eh? Compared to what you normally get. We'll change over to our TC. Where's our TCR car? Yeah. Oh, okay. Get that ready for tonight's race. Alright. Cheers, guys, for jumping in and keeping me company today. You know, shout out to Art Motorsport. Aussie as well for jumping in, keeping us company. Greenie for the first few races with us in the dailies. I'll be live again tonight, probably around the 8 o'clock mark my time. So in about 7 hours, we'll be live again for our TCR Cup race. Until then, thanks, guys. We're going to go see... who's on? Probably going to see Manny. Manny's apparent. What's he doing? Daily races at the moment. Oh no, hold on. He's ending. He is ending. All right. Let's who else can we raid then? Hawkeye. Alright, cheers guys.